Hi, everybody. Welcome to Almapura Awakenings. Thanks for stopping by. I wanted to use this time to share a little bit of background with you because if you've noticed, the last few videos that I've posted on Facebook have been centered around people's transition from the earthly realm to the heavenly realm. And some of the people in heaven have been sharing their experiences of transition with me. And that has been happening on and off for 30 years roughly. But I noticed that recently they didn't, when I do a session with somebody and when I connect with somebody's family, I find that to be such a blessed experience for me that they would include me to connect with their heaven family. I take that so seriously, and it means really so much to me. And I respect it very much. And so I never want to share information that somebody might feel that they don't want to be shared. And I would never do that. I would never ethically, I think that that's not the right thing to do. But recently it has come into my heart that it's okay for me to share transition stories with people if I am not specific and giving away any personal details. So as I tell transition stories, I might put a name where the name is different for the person that I was connecting with in heaven. And I'm doing that so that people's information and information for their families stays private and remains to be the gift that it's intended to be from their family. But when this came into my heart and I started praying about it, I really felt that what was coming to me is that, I talk to heaven and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what will that moment be like for me? Or what does it feel like at that moment? We all know that we get to heaven and we're happy and we're with the people that we love, and it's great to visit once we get there, but like what's the travel time and what does that look like? And it's not the arrival in heaven. It's not being there. We know that being there is great. What does it take to get from here to there? So what is that journey for us once we transcend out of the human body? And I find that that comes up a lot in conversations that I have with people, that that seems to be the thing that creates a sense of fear or insecurity within us. And I think that's why when this came into my heart, I realized that it had a value, and that that gift that the people in heaven are sharing with me about their transition is actually something that may ease or soothe anybody that listens to the videos. So I do want to share with you the first transition that I remember occurring for me in my life. So again, I'm changing some of the circumstances, but I have a friend who was a nurse, and she was a nurse to terminally ill patients. And she got very close to one of her terminally ill patients, and I'll just call him Barry. And so when Barry and my friend, who was the nurse, they were talking because they knew that he was terminal. She cared for terminal patients. That when his time came, and it was getting close, and she said to him, she said, Barry, when you get to heaven, if if you could let me know how it went for you, that would I would really be happy to know that. And so Barry, shortly after that, passed away. And when my friend and I were talking about, how was your day, friend? She informed me that this very special patient of hers had passed. And when she brought him up, his energy came into my conversation with her, and it kind of turned into like a mediumship type of connection. And he said to me to tell her that he wanted to deliver the message, the one that she had asked for. And I didn't know that at the time, but she did then tell me that that she did, in fact, tell him that. And so she said, "Well, does he have an answer for me?" And so her question was, "Tell me what it was like for you to go to heaven." And his response in his vision when he was connecting with me, he showed me, the on New Year's Eve when the ball drops in New York and it's like that sparkly ball and it's just like so exciting and it has all these glass panes and iridescent things and light is just bursting out of it, and that's how everybody goes to New York to see that, right? The ball dropping. Well, imagine that the ball is not dropping, but it's ascending. And so when Barry showed me the vision of his transition, he helped me to understand in the vision that he in fact was that ball that drops, he was that New Year's Eve ball. And I'm even emotional, like, thinking about this and talking about this because it really impacted me so deeply because his message was so clear. But anyway, he became the New Year's Eve ball. And as the ball rose, it started to break apart, right? Because the light has to shine through. So all these pieces of glass were falling and all these like sparkly things were coming off and I could hear it too. It was like things were clanking around and the higher the ball went, the more that the fragments came off of the ball. And then it rose. And when it stopped rising, it was like right at that brink of entry into heaven. And all that was left of the ball was the light. So he was the light inside the ball. And he smiled, when I understood that that's what he was talking about, but I didn't understand these fragments coming off of the ball. And so I said, "Well, what was that? What was that like coming off of the ball?" All that was left was this light um, from inside the ball. And he told me that all of those things falling off were fragments of his pain, emotional pain, mental pain, and physical pain. That as his soul rose to heaven, all of the things that happened to him on earth that were difficult or hard, um, they just fell off. And what was left was this brilliant, brilliant, brilliant light. And so that was his transition story. And it impacted me so much, maybe because it was the first time, or I think that that happened after my mom passed away, and my mom passed away of lung cancer. And it was a painful thing to watch. It was hard to watch somebody you love so much be in so much pain. And you just pray and you pray and you wish that that pain would just stop, and leave them. And it's a horrible thing to watch. And so when Barry showed me all these fragments falling off the ball, and then later from the light of his soul, he told me that that was everything that hurt. It healed something in me, knowing that in my mom's transition, that she left her body and all of the pain went away. And, we know that, right? But to see this vision or to visualize something like that and to see what Barry showed me was just the most incredible gift, I think. And I hope it helps you. I hope that when you think of your loved ones in heaven and you know that they experienced such a difficult time here, whether it was mental, emotional, or physical, and you just wanted that pain to stop for them, know that that was the very first experience that they had in their transition. The first thing that happens is all of that just falls off. And I think that's a great message. So I wanted to share that with you about my friend Barry. And yeah, that's it. So I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thanks for stopping by.